And we shift our attention to an investigation by a leading news daily that claims that the Union Minister of State for Agriculture, Bhagirath Chaudhary, received a subsidy of nearly 99.6 lakh rupees for a commercial cucumber farming project under a scheme administered by the Ministry of Agriculture itself. So this report points out that while the subsidy was approved by a project approval committee and not by the minister personally, he is also the ex-vice president of the National Horticulture Board, the very body that administers this entire scheme. So these findings have now triggered a serious political controversy, with questions being raised over the conflict of interest, transparency, and also propriety of a union minister receiving a subsidy under a scheme administered by his own ministry. In fact, we have breaking updates now coming in of the newspaper report on a government subsidy that has sparked this entire political storm, putting the spotlight on the Minister of State for Agriculture. This report that claimed subsidy of nearly 99.6 lakh rupees was sanctioned for this farming project, prompting the opposition to question the allotment. Accusing the government of favoritism, the opposition has now demanded answers. My colleague Dave is joining us on the broadcast with the details. Dave, take us through the details of the report. What does it cite and why the opposition says that this is favoritism with the Union Minister of State taking undue advantage of his position?
Well, yes, firstly to begin with and to give our viewers a sense and understanding and also a perspective of what kind of crops that are being spoken about, tomatoes, cucumber, capsicum, 8 different varieties of flowers including roses. It was supposed to be a part under this horticultural mission cum scheme where the beneficiaries were supposed to get some kind of an assistance. But out here the beneficiary is the minister himself. However, his portfolio reads Minister of State for Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. I don't know about farmers welfare, but this is personal welfare definitely. And what has really happened is that the discount that he has granted himself and his family in Rajasthan in this plot of land for cucumber farming is amounting up to 99 lakhs, almost ₹1 crore. And also another beneficiary named in this is also a bureaucrat, an IAS officer. Not just him, but his wife, his mother and his son have also been named as beneficiaries in the newspaper report that has been published today by a leading newspaper. So, however, what is important to note out here is this entire episode has also kicked off a political storm with the opposition parties coming out all guns blazing. In fact, Priyanka Chaturvedi from Shiv Sena or, be it Sagrika Ghosh from the Trinamool Congress, in fact, several other politicians on taking to X, they have said that this is, helping your own family engaged in deep-rooted corruption. Also, how the ministry and several others have looked the entire way when the Minister of State for Agriculture under the Union Agriculture Ministry does something like this. What kind of a message is he sending out? This is definitely disheartening and discouraging for the farmers who begin to wonder if the government policies, schemes and the horticultural missions, etc. are even in their favor. So these are the kind of details that we have at this point in time, but this is definitely alarming. A minister who has been appointed to be in charge of the welfare of other farmers is not doing that, but is definitely inducing self-welfare. So you can really understand at a time like this what it means for cucumber farming. 99.6 lakhs waiver or rather discount was given. So out here only the minister is not making money. The bureaucrat was also hand in glove, which is why over a period of 3 to 4 years or in fact more, the bureaucrat has been shown to receive 1.5 crore rupees. Not just him, in fact his family members also. So the extended family also gaining something out of this, and this money is from the public exchequer money, which is meant for the development of farmers, growing of certain crops and development of land as well.
Okay, all right, they stay with us. In fact, like you mentioned, there are many from the opposition who have raised this issue and have cited this newspaper report. In fact, multiple opposition leaders have now demanded answers and have accused the government and the minister of indulging in corruption. Here is what John Brittas has said. Modi government has changed the direct benefit transfer scheme to DFT, direct family transfer. And he mentions Bhagirath Chaudhary, saying he gets 99.6 lakh rupees and 3 family members of the ministry. Naresh Gangwar IAS pocketed over 1.16 crore rupees in the NHP horticulture subsidies in 5 years. Who said Kisan are in distress? This is a tweet that has come in from the opposition. Multiple opposition leaders now criticizing the government. With that, we shift our attention now. I'm thanking Dev for joining us with all those details.